Imagine a world where chaos has no power over you. Where storms rage, but your peace remains unshaken. What if the secret to conquering life's turbulence is a power you already have? Jesus didn't just preach peace, he embodied it. In the middle of raging storms, betrayal, and even death, his calm wasn't weakness. It was a force that changed everything. And today, you'll learn how to harness that same power. In a world consumed by noise, anxiety, and conflict, Jesus used calm as a weapon, not of defense, but of transformation. A power so profound that it silenced storms, disarmed enemies, and turned suffering into victory. And here's the truth, that same power is within you. In the next few minutes, we'll uncover 5 powerful lessons from Jesus that will show you how to make calm your superpower. By the end of this, you won't just see calm differently, you'll start living it. Let's begin. Chapter 1, Lesson 1, Calm commands the storm. The storm was violent. Waves crashed against the boat, tossing it like a toy in the hands of a raging sea. The disciples, seasoned fishermen, had seen storms before, but this was different. The sky was splitting open with thunder, and the wind howled like an unseen force determined to sink them. Panic set in. And yet, amid the chaos, one figure remained still. Jesus. As the boat swayed, he slept. The disciples couldn't believe it. "Teacher, don't you care if we drown?" they shouted, Mark 4 verse 38. Their voices were filled with fear, their hearts gripped by the terror of the storm. Then, something extraordinary happened. Jesus rose, not with panic, not with urgency, but with calm. He looked at the storm and spoke just 3 words. "Peace, be still." And instantly, the wind stopped. The sea became like glass. The same voice that spoke creation into existence now silenced the chaos. The true power of calm. The disciples stood in awe. "Who is this," they murmured, "that even the wind and the sea obey him?" Mark 4 verse 41. But Jesus wasn't surprised. He turned to them and asked, "Why are you so afraid? Do you still have no faith?" Mark 4 verse 40. This moment reveals something profound. Calm is not the absence of chaos, it is the authority over it. Jesus didn't need to shout. He didn't need to fight the storm. He simply commanded it to be still. And here's the lesson: when you cultivate true calm, you don't react to chaos, you rule over it. A modern storm. Think about the last time your life felt like that storm. Maybe it wasn't waves and wind, but a sudden crisis, bad news from the doctor, a betrayal, a financial collapse. Maybe your mind was spinning, searching for control in a situation that seemed uncontrollable. What if, in that moment, you responded like Jesus? Not with panic. Not with fear. But with calm. Because calm isn't passivity, it's power. It's a force that changes the atmosphere, that influences those around you, that redefines how you face life's fiercest battles. The shift starts here. The storm didn't wake Jesus. But fear did. He wasn't shaken by the waves, but he was stirred by his disciples' lack of faith. Why? Because they had forgotten something crucial. The storm outside can't sink you unless the storm gets inside. Jesus' calm came from something deeper, an unshakable trust in the Father. And that's the key. So the next time you face a storm, ask yourself, will I let fear control me, or will I stand in calm authority? Will I react, or will I respond? Will I let the chaos define me, or will I command the storm? Because the truth is, the storm will come. But how you face it, that's what changes everything. Jesus calmed the storm with just 3 words. But where did that unshakable peace come from? How can we have that same confidence when life gets out of control? The answer lies in something deeper, a trust so strong that even in his darkest hour, Jesus never wavered. Let's uncover it in the next lesson. Chapter 2, Lesson 2, calm trusts the source. It was the darkest night of Jesus' life. The garden was silent, except for the distant whispers of wind and the quiet steps of a man in anguish. Jesus knew what was coming. The betrayal. The suffering. The cross. And yet, he didn't run. He didn't resist. He knelt. In Gethsemane, under the weight of the world's sin, Jesus' sweat fell like drops of blood, Luke 22 verse 44. His soul was overwhelmed with sorrow to the point of death, Matthew 26 verse 38. He was fully human, fully aware of the pain ahead. And still, his response was calm surrender. Father, if you are willing, take this cup from me, yet not my will, but yours be done. Luke 22 verse 42. At that moment, Jesus showed us one of the greatest truths about calm. True peace comes not from controlling the outcome, but from trusting the one who does. The battle beneath the surface. We often think of peace as the absence of struggle. But here, in the garden, Jesus reveals that calm doesn't mean an easy path, it means certainty in the one who walks with you. Gethsemane wasn't just a garden, it was a battlefield. Not of swords and soldiers, but of surrender and trust. And Jesus won that battle not by fighting for control, but by letting go of it. A modern Gethsemane. Think about your own life. Maybe you faced a moment where everything was about to change. A heartbreaking loss. A crushing failure. A future that felt uncertain, overwhelming. What did you do? Did you fight it, trying to control the uncontrollable? Or did you trust? Because calm doesn't come from knowing every answer, it comes from knowing who holds the answers. It's the difference between fear that tightens its grip versus faith that lets go. Anxiety that questions versus trust that surrenders. Panic that drowns versus calm that carries you through. Jesus knew the suffering ahead. But he also knew the Father. And that was enough. The shift starts here. So here's the challenge for you. The next time life places you in a Gethsemane moment, a moment of fear, uncertainty, or struggle, stop and ask yourself, am I gripping too tightly, or am I surrendering in trust? Am I letting anxiety control me, or am I resting in God's plan? Am I trying to force my own way, or am I saying, not my will, but yours be done? Because calm doesn't mean we don't feel the weight of life, it means we trust the one who carries it for us. Calm isn't just about trusting God in our personal struggles, it also changes how we face people. Jesus didn't just remain calm in the storm, he stayed calm in the face of hostility, judgment, and confrontation. And in our world of division and conflict, this lesson might be the most powerful of all. Let's dive in. Chapter 3, Lesson 3, Calm Disarms Conflict. A woman, caught in the act of adultery, was dragged into the temple. A mob surrounded her, stones in hand, demanding justice. The law was clear, she had to die. But Jesus? He knelt down and said nothing. As the crowd shouted, he simply wrote in the dirt. And then, he spoke. Let the one who has never sinned throw the first stone. John 8 verse 7. Silence fell. One by one, the accusers left, until only Jesus and the woman remained. The power of a calm response. Jesus didn't argue. He didn't raise his voice. He responded with calm wisdom, and it dismantled the entire conflict. Why? Because calm is not weakness, it's strength under control. In a world that fuels outrage, Jesus shows us that calm disarms hostility, de-escalates tension, and shifts the outcome. Your everyday battles. Think of the last time someone attacked you with words, misunderstood you, or tried to provoke you. Did you react with anger? Did you defend yourself immediately? Or did you pause, breathe, and respond with clarity? Because a gentle answer can break a wall of rage, Proverbs 15 verse 1. And a calm mind sees solutions that anger blinds us to. The shift starts here. The next time you're faced with conflict, ask yourself, do I want to win the argument or defuse the battle? Am I reacting emotionally or responding with wisdom? What would happen if I met aggression with calm instead of fire? Because the loudest voice doesn't win the battle, the calmest one does. Jesus diffused conflict not with anger, but with wisdom. But here's something even more surprising: he didn't just act wisely in the moment. He prepared for it. He withdrew, he reflected, he prayed. And that's the secret we often miss. Before we can master calm, we must learn when to step back. Let's explore. Chapter 4, Lesson 4, Calm reflects before acting. Jesus was constantly surrounded by crowds, people demanding miracles, answers, and attention. But what did he do? He withdrew. Luke 5 verse 16 tells us, Jesus often withdrew to lonely places and prayed. Before major decisions, before miracles, before facing opposition, Jesus paused. The power of stillness. The world tells us to act fast, react instantly, and always be busy. But Jesus shows us that calm isn't hesitation, it's preparation. Stillness isn't delay, it's clarity. When we pause, we gain perspective. When we reflect, we make wiser choices. Your daily chaos. How often do we rush into decisions out of fear or pressure? Reacting in anger before thinking. Speaking without processing. Making choices out of anxiety instead of wisdom. Jesus teaches us that a moment of calm can save us from a lifetime of regret. The shift starts here. Before your next big decision, ask yourself, have I stepped back to pray or reflect? Am I acting from peace or pressure? What would change if I embraced stillness before action? Because true wisdom isn't found in noise, it's found in the quiet. And that leads us to our final lesson. Because the deepest calm is anchored in something eternal. Let's explore. Chapter 5, Lesson 5, Calm carries eternal hope. Hanging on the cross, abandoned and in agony, Jesus had every reason to lash out, to curse, to despair. But instead, he spoke words of calm and mercy. Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing. Luke 23 verse 34. In his darkest moment, Jesus displayed unshakable peace. The power of hope-filled calm. How? Because his calm wasn't based on circumstances, it was anchored in eternity. He knew the suffering was temporary. He knew the victory was coming. And that's what gave him peace. Calm thrives when you realize the story isn't over. Your own crosses to bear. We all face moments of deep pain, betrayal, loss, uncertainty. And in those moments, we have a choice. Let the pain define us. Or hold on to the bigger picture. The calmest people aren't those with easy lives, they're those who trust in something greater than the present storm. The shift starts here. The next time life hits hard, ask yourself, am I letting the moment consume me, or am I trusting the bigger plan? Is my peace based on my situation or on something eternal? If Jesus found calm on the cross, what's stopping me? Because when your hope is anchored in eternity, no storm can shake you. Now, it's time to bring it all together. Let's wrap this up. The power of calm in you. Jesus showed us that calm isn't passive, it's powerful. Calm commands the storm, because fear doesn't lead, faith does. Calm trusts the source, because surrender brings strength. Calm disarms conflict, because wisdom is louder than anger. Calm reflects before acting, because stillness creates clarity. Calm carries eternal hope, because the storm is temporary, but God's plan is not. And now, it's your turn. The challenge for you. Next time life shakes you, ask yourself, will I let the chaos control me, or will I stand firm in calm? Will I react with fear, or respond with faith? What would change in my life if I embraced the calm of Jesus? Your voice matters. Which of these lessons spoke to you the most? Drop it in the comments. Know someone who needs this? Share it with them. Want more? Subscribe for deeper insights into the wisdom of Jesus. Because here's the truth. The storm is loud, but your calm is louder. Now, go live it.